On episode 165 of the 40 Plus Fitness podcast, I share my best tips for getting started on fitness. The show notes for this episode can be found at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/165. Have you decided you're ready to make a change? To reclaim your health and fitness? The 40 Plus Fitness podcast is here for you. I'm your host, Alan Meisner. I'm an NSAM certified personal trainer with a specialization in corrective exercise and fitness nutrition. Let me be your coach as you find your way on your health and fitness journey. All right, let's go. Okay, time is running out. After I get back from my son's wedding this weekend, I'm going to be closing the door to Forever Fitness personal training and won't be taking on any new clients for a little while. I'm upgrading the materials as well, and I will be increasing the price when I do reopen in about a month or so. So go to forever.fitness/tired and work with me to reach your health and fitness goals. Sometimes the hardest thing with exercise is just getting started. So I wanted to go ahead and put together a list of tips to kind of help you if you are struggling with that motivation, if you are struggling to just get out the door, go to the gym, or do anything physical. I know it can be a challenge. I've been there myself. And even now, there's occasionally that procrastination comes in where I just, again, not feeling it, So I get that feeling and where you're coming from. And so I wanted to give you some tools to kind of help get you a little bit more in the moving spirit. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, number one on my list is know your why. And actually, I think this might be the most critical of all the tips I give you. If you don't do anything but listen to this next one, I think this is a critical one here. If you don't have a kind of an emotional reason for why you're doing this besides just wanting to look better, I do think that there's going to be a struggle there. When we were younger and we were looking for mates and all that kind of thing, maybe looking better would have been a little bit more of a motivator. I know when I was in my teens and 20s, I wanted to look better after my football years. Now, before my football years and sports years in high school, I definitely wanted to perform better on the field. And so most of my exercise was based towards that. So my why when I was a teen was that I wanted to play better football. And then it kind of morphed over into the I want to look and feel better. So your why can change over time. So this is something that you just really kind of want to hold on and get an understanding. A new grandchild might be your new why. And that'd be something that you'd really strongly consider, is that you want to spend some time playing with your grandchild, to be able to lift your grandchild, to be able to play with your grandchild, to be able to keep up with them when they go to the zoo, those kind of things. So really get an emotional why. Understand what your motivation is, what's behind all this, and collect that information and keep that close to your head. Because, when you wake up or when the alarm goes off in the morning and you don't really want to roll out of bed and do this, that why has to be standing there, and not necessarily physically standing there, but metaphorically in your head. That's why you're getting up. That's why that alarm went off, and that's why you've got to go do what you plan to do. Okay, number two kind of blends with that, and that's having a vision. Now, when I talk about having a vision, what I'm basically saying is if you don't know where you're going, you're probably not going to get there. And so what does health and fitness actually look like to you? And so, again, a lot of that's going to be based on your why. A lot of that's going to be based on your health history. Maybe you want to get off of your diabetes meds. Maybe you want to get off your blood pressure meds. Maybe you just want to be able to keep up with grandchild, so you want some more stamina. Maybe you want to be able to do more around the house, not be dependent on other people to do things for you. So you want to build some strength, some balance, and some mobility. So kind of knowing your why and then knowing your vision kind of gives you the whole picture to really make that commitment to your health and fitness. So again, number one, number two, kind of wrap together. But if you don't have a strong why, it won't hold together. And if you don't have a strong vision, then you really don't know the direction that you want to go. And so you'll just kind of be throwing things together without really kind of being organized. So putting those two together is really going to put you in the right frame of mind with the right direction to get you moving. So now not only you're moving, you're climbing the right ladder. So number 3 on my list is to set goals. So now obviously you have a vision and you know what you want to look like. You know what you want to feel like. you know why you're doing it, setting little goals, little milestones. And so I look at goals as kind of milestones. And so my goals, my vision is that I'm a tremor person who's not on diabetes medicine or on any blood pressure medicine. Then I know that I need to lose some body fat. And so I may say, I measure my stomach, it's maybe your stomach's 42 inches, maybe it's 44 inches, and so you say, currently it's 44. So what I want to do is I want to lose 1 inch off of my waist. And when you kind of look at that 1 inch relative to 40, it's not a huge percentage. So it's 2%. So you want to lose 2% off your belly. Maybe it's a little less than 2%. I don't have a calculator in front of me. It's a little early in the morning as I record this. But think in terms of that. My first goal is just to lose that first inch. So I get the tape measure out, I measure my belly, and now I'm going to pay attention to the food I put in my mouth. I'm going to get a little bit more active, maybe walking each morning, and occasionally doing something a little bit more intense, like some sprints or whatnot, because I know that'll boost my metabolism. And then what I'll notice is over time, my stomach seems to get a little bit trimmer. So I pull out the tape measure and I hit that goal. So now I'm down to 43 inches. And I set another goal. I want to lose another inch, just 2%. And I stay on it. I've got my why, I've got my vision, and now I'm setting these little milestone goals that are going to push me along. Now, I talked in a lot more detail on goals in episode 93, and we talked about SMART goals. A SMART goal is something that's specific, and I said an inch. It's measurable. Obviously, I can measure this one with a tape. It's attainable. When I talked about the 2%, you can kind of see that's not a huge percentage off of where I am. So that is something that feels relatively attainable in a short period of time. It's relevant because, again, I told you my why, and I told you what I was trying to approach. So it is relevant to my why. It's relevant to my vision. And so that tie-in makes this goal matter. It's a milestone on that path. And then time-bound. I wanted to get there by a certain time. Now, when I set that goal, like we talked about a second ago, I didn't really specifically set a goal, but I could say I want to lose that inch this month. And that might be my time-bound for that goal. But I went into a lot more detail in episode 93. I'd encourage you to go there, 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/93. And if you go to the show notes for this episode, which is at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/165. I put a link in there to a little worksheet that you can download that will help you set your goals. So it's got everything there that walks you through the process of setting SMART goals. So I encourage you, if you want to go ahead and use that, to go pull that down. It's a really good guide, and I think it'll help you. Okay, let's move on. Number 4 is to focus on what matters. Now, my previous example, when I talked about trying to set a goal to lose that 1 inch off my waist, obviously, then I talked about exercises and food. So I'm going to be very careful with my food. I'm going to do some low intensity, long distance cardio type work, walking, which I know is going to burn fat more than it's going to burn sugar. And then those occasional boosts of higher metabolism, HIIT type training, the sprints and whatnot, are going to keep my metabolism strong. You notice what I didn't say in there was that I was going to start lifting heavy weights, or that I would start doing some other things to build cardiovascular strength, or I was going to start doing some balance training. When I put that in there, basically now I'm focused on that thing. I'm focused on my goal. And so the exercises that I choose to add to my plan, to my workouts, are relevant to my goal. So make sure you have that focus, because if you're trying to do too many things at one time, you're likely not to accomplish any of them. And so I would encourage you to really kind of bear down on that and say, okay, what am I trying to do? Why am I trying to do it? You've got that all together. Now, how do I do it? And that's that focus. Really come together with something that's solid and direct to what you want to accomplish. The next one is to have fun. And I can't stress this enough. Again, I talked about just doing those exercises. I really enjoy a good long walk. I just do. It's entertaining for me. I'll typically pull up a podcast or something, just kind of walk along. Or if I'm in nature, just really enjoy the moment. So, for me, walking is fun. And then, if there's an exercise or something that you really enjoy, and I've told you on here that I really enjoy volleyball. So I'll do things that are fun, like play volleyball occasionally, or I'll go try to, find other things that are going to help me be better at volleyball. And I enjoy those because I know that they're going to help me have more fun the next time I play. So make sure you're kind of blending in a little bit of fun with your exercise, and that'll just kind of keep things a little fresh for you. Okay, number 6 is be prepared. And what I mean by that is kind of twofold. You have a plan, you know the direction that you're going. What are those things that are going to kind of trip you up as far as going to the gym? So one of the things I make sure to do is I have my gym bag sitting right by the door in the morning. It's already loaded with my workout clothes and everything I need. So, I just pick it up on my way out the door. That way I have it with me when it's time for my afternoon workout. It's right there in the office with me, and I just go out and I get changed and I go. Also, I will package up my meals for the day to make sure, again, that I have good food with me so I know that day what I'm there to eat, and I'm not more inclined to say, oh, well, I'll just run out to the Wendy's and pick up something. I've got all I need right there, packed up, ready to go. And so, being prepared and kind of having that all together just makes things a little easier. And then on the food front, I do want to kind of take this one more step forward. I'm a huge fan of doing bulk cooking, particularly like on the weekend if you've got an extra time. But taking some time to sit down and make up, 2 or 3 different types of meals, and then putting them in the freezer or the refrigerator in portion sizes for you. When you come home from work, you're basically very, very tired. Your willpower's kind of been sapped for the day. You've made a lot of decisions and pushed yourself. The things I'm talking about being prepared are kind of reducing those decisions because they're just there now. You just do them. But you still have made a lot of decisions. You're still tired, and it's still an opportunity for you to decide, well, let's just go out. Let's do this. Let's go that. If you have those meals already prepared, they're very easy to pull out of the oven, pull out of the freezer, pull out of the refrigerator, and just go ahead and cook them. And they're right there. Very easy, and they're healthy because you made them. You know what's in them, so you don't have to worry about any ingredients slipping in there that you didn't really want. So again, big fan of being prepared to make sure that you don't have problems going forward with your plan. Okay. Now, number 7 is schedule it. And what I mean by schedule it is if you know that you have a propensity to struggle with your workout plan to go, things get busy and then you miss it, or you wake up, the alarm goes off and you're tired, so you hit the snooze and go back to bed and miss your workout. Have it on your calendar. Have it something that matters. And the way I like to think of it is this: if you had a meeting with your boss, and just say the boss told you, I want to see you at 6 o'clock, okay? And there's a meeting at 6 o'clock. The boss wants to meet you. The alarm goes off. It's time to go. You put on your clothes. You go meet your boss. You don't skip that meeting unless you want to look for another job. So in life, you're the boss of you. You're the boss of your health. You're the only one that can do anything about your health. So what I would encourage you to do is put this on your calendar. Put a time on your calendar, make an appointment with yourself, with your boss, and then just stick to it. And, one of the cool things, I'm able to schedule a workout in the middle of the afternoon. I just take a late lunch hour, and I'm happy that my company kind of gives me that flexibility to put that all together. But regardless of when I needed to work out, if I really thought I was going to struggle with making those workouts, I would just put it on my calendar. It's 3 or 4 times a week, maybe 5 or 6 times a week. Just put that on your calendar. It's there. Set an alarm for it, so it sends you a little text or email, pops up on your phone with the notifications, whatever you need to do. But have that schedule, have that time in there. Take that time for yourself and just go do it. Now, yeah, occasionally things are going to come up, but you have to really make this a priority or you're not going to see the results that you really want. Number 8 is go slow. When a lot of people get started, it's very easy for them to take that initial surge of energy, that desire to make something happen, and really push past what's reasonable for them at that point in their training. So get into it a little bit slower, understand what you're there to do, learn the movements, get the benefits, and then set up a reasonable progression. One of the worst things you can do is to run into the gym the first time, hit all the weights, circuit through all the machines, and then you go home and the next day you can't move your arms. So the walk that you wanted to do doesn't happen because your legs are too sore. And you skip that day, and then the next day you're still really sore. So you thought, well, maybe I haven't recovered, so I'm going to skip this workout again. And now you're 2 days out and you haven't done anything physical. And in fact, because you did that really hard day, you probably gave yourself some credit and said, I'll eat a little bit more. Maybe I need some more protein. That's what this problem is. So just realize that you need to go ahead and have a progression plan and slowly work through it. Some basic rules that I would put out there for this is, start with the lightest weights. Don't worry if people think it's funny that you're just working out with the bar or just a small dumbbell. Don't worry about that. Learn the form, do it right. When you know you can do the exercise well at that weight, then add just an incremental little bit more. It could be 2.5 pounds for certain exercises, maybe 5 for others. And then with regards to walking and running, those types of things, try to keep your weekly mileage only going up about 10% per week. I mean, you never want to go more than 10% more than you did in previous weeks. So slowly build up to distances when you're doing that type of work. But really kind of go slow. This is not a race to some end. It's really just a matter of saying our bodies will get stronger if we add progressive resistance. But if we push too hard, we risk injury. So take your time and do it right. Number 9 is to be good to yourself. Now, one of the last episodes I put out, I talked about your inner voice, and I'll put a link in the show notes at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/165. But as you go through this process, there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be some times when it seems like maybe you're not moving in the direction you wanted to move in. And particularly if you're using the scale as your measure, and you get on the scale and you notice that it's gone up 2 pounds, and you're like, well, I'm doing all this work. I'm eating so well. Why did I gain 2 pounds? There's a myriad of reasons. I like to use inches for that very reason, is I don't see a huge fluctuation of inches going up unless I just happen to have eaten a big meal before I do the measurement. So realize that there are going to be ups and downs in your training. And so really work on the inner voice to be your cheerleader, to be that one that pushes you on. When the alarm goes off, you want that cheerleader explaining to your why. It's like, you're doing this for your grandchildren. You're doing this for this individual. You're doing this for this. Have that cheerleader. Have a good inner voice. Start working on your inner voice. And so I'd encourage you to go to that episode and listen to it again if you need to work on that. Number 10 is to share it with friends. Getting other people engaged with you is going to do quite a few things for you. One, it's going to provide some accountability. If you've told your friend that you're going to meet them at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be there. That's just me. If I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's my style. So having someone else that you're accountable to that's going to be there waiting for you, it could be a walking buddy. So every afternoon after work, you guys are going to go for a walk right before you cook dinner. And that's your thing. Meet that friend out there. Find a friend that is interested in some of the same things. They don't have to have the same why, and they don't even have to have the same vision. As long as their goals and their exercise have some correlation with what you want to do. They want to walk, you want to walk. They want to get stronger, you want to get stronger. Those are the types of things where you can get a workout partner and they're going to help hold you accountable. A workout partner can also be really good at helping you push a little bit harder because you got someone there watching you, and there's this thing called the Hawthorne effect. And basically what Hawthorne found was that when he was watching test subjects and they knew they were being watched, they worked much harder than they would have otherwise. So again, having a friend there to hold you accountable is going to push you just a little bit harder, particularly if they're a competitive style person. So find someone that's compatible with your work style, but at the same time, just realize you can use their wiring to help make you a better person. And then, again, having a friend along is just going to potentially make it a lot more fun. When you're walking along, talking to a friend, that's going to let the time pass a little bit better. It's going to be a much more enjoyable opportunity. And, like I said in the earlier one, have fun. So, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of build that relationship, to have fun. And then again, because you're now like-minded with this individual, this friend, invite them over on Sunday when you're going to do your cooking. Have them bring supplies to cook a few meals. You guys can work together on this, split up the meals you have, and that's going to give you even more variety. Plus, it just makes for a very nice afternoon to spend some time with your friend cooking and talking and enjoying yourself. And so the last one is hire a trainer. Now, I guess this is a little self-serving, but I do want you to understand that a personal trainer can really help you ratchet up things. And a lot of the things that we talked about here in the previous 10 tips are something that a trainer should be working with you toward. Your trainer should know your why. Your trainer should know your vision. Your trainer should know and help you set your goals. They can help you make sure that you're setting up the right progression so you're going slow, but you're getting things done. And they can help make sure that you're there because they hold you accountable. You've got to typically an appointment time at the gym, or you've got a workout for the day that you've agreed to do from your programming. You've got check-ins with that trainer where they're going to be doing maybe body fat and weight measurements and other things to kind of, show your progress as you go. A personal trainer can really be beneficial. I'd like to encourage you to go over to forever.fitness/tired. Program's going to be open for a little bit longer to let some folks in that I can work with. If you believe a personal trainer really can help you kind of push and get started, I'd like to be that trainer for you. Again, forever.fitness/tired. And I'm offering the best prices for this, best investment for this that you're going to find. So I'd strongly encourage you to give it a shot. And I hope to see you there. All right. So did you enjoy my tips? Do you have some of your own? Please leave a comment at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/165. Next time on the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, we meet with Dr. Robert McNutt to discuss his book, Your Health, Your Decisions, How to Work with Your Doctor to Become a Knowledge-Powered Patient. Until then, have a happy and healthy day.